Guess who got brands talking? Brandlive.co.za.
When you control a man's thinking, you do not have to worry about his actions. That's a quotation by Carter G. Woodson. Good morning, everybody. My name is Keenan Paulson. Welcome to brandinglive.co.za. This is your midweek motivation, 30 minutes with me today of absolute and pure inspiration, motivation, encouragement. Man, there's so much bad news in the world today. I thought, why don't we take 30 minutes out just to motivate, encourage, and inspire each other right here on the Midweek Motivation. And why not start the show with some gratitude? Massive thank you, huge, grateful, heartfelt thank you to the leadership of brandinglive.co.za. You'll catch me every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Let me tell you a little bit about who I am. So I'm an author. I've written the book called How to Win Before You Begin. It's a simple read. The words are really big in my book, and it's mental coaching for people who want to win. Do you want to win out there? Could you do with some victory in your life? This idea of how to win before you begin is really about creating the victory in your mind before you actually run the race or do the task or do whatever it is you set out to do. So I'm an author, I'm an inspirational speaker. I'm also the director of Mind Factory, and really I'm a local boy. I grew up in Innerdale, and I spoke to a friend of mine about a month ago. He said, man, you're not really from Innerdale. You left when you were 5 years old. You're from Ridgeway. That's where you lived your whole life. So I'm a boy from the south of Joburg. And I specialize in self-development, mindset development through coaching, courses, seminars, workshops. And now, man, I'm so excited to present all of that value through the medium of radio as well. Huge thank you once again to the leadership of brandinglive.co.za for the invitation to be a part of this dynamic station. Let me tell you what we have coming up today. We've got a book review. I'm reviewing The Alchemist, 65 million copies sold by Paulo Coelho and The Alchemist. So we're going to be reviewing that. Then I've got a guest coming in to interview our featured speaker of the day. I'll be your featured speaker because I did say I'm a motivational speaker, but Goodeen Baby's coming in. Goodeen Baby's coming to interview me. He's always exciting. I've got a poem by George Carver Washington. And our discussion for today, man, it's all about motivation here today. And I want to discuss some ideas that spark your motivation. That's what I've got coming up. That's what I've got planned for the show. Why don't we go to a quick commercial break before we review The Alchemist? This is the Midweek Motivation.
Brandlive.co.za. Making a bold statement yet blending into the surrounding suburbs of Melville, 27 Boxes is a realization of edgy design and practical implementation. A radical departure from the shopping malls of our generation, yet not a return to the high streets of our youth. 27 Boxes showcases the best of a shopping centre set in a garden, surrounded by the bohemian suburb that is Melville. 27 Boxes, shop, play, eat.
Harnessing the power of talk radio. Brandlive.co.za. You're listening to Brandlive.co.za.
We're back with the Midweek Motivation here on brandlive.co.za, and we're about to review Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist. Has anybody read this book? Anybody read it out there? Our station manager came to me and said, man, I read that book one time. I should really revisit it. Maybe you're just like her. Maybe you need to revisit this book. I'll tell you who read this book. Will Smith. Will Smith read this book. He said, man, this is one of my favorite books. I didn't speak to him, but that's what he actually wrote on the cover of the book. Madonna. Anybody know Madonna out there? She said, a beautiful book about magic, dreams, the treasures we seek everywhere and that we find on our doorstep. And then, of course, the Times wrote, his books have had a life-enhancing impact on millions of people, speaking about Paulo Coelho. And this story, The Alchemist, is really a fable about following your dreams. It speaks about a guy called Santiago, and maybe like many of us, Santiago is a shepherd boy. So he's a young shepherd boy just looking after his dad's sheep. But there's a dream in his heart and there's a fire in his soul, and he decides that he's got to go for this dream, Do you have a dream in your heart? Is there something that's burning on the inside of you that you just have to achieve, you just have to attempt, you just have to reach that goal? You're just like Santiago. And so Santiago's journey takes him through many interesting places. I mean, he eventually sells his sheep, gets some money, loses all the money, and then has to find a job. And so he finds this job, and in his quest for setting himself free from his job, he learns so much. He even falls in love with a beautiful girl called Fatima, and his exploits then take him through the desert in search of the alchemist, that one person that can turn lead into gold. Lead, a commodity that's readily available, that's actually it's cheap, it's found everywhere, and he wants to turn lead into gold, a precious commodity that's rare, that's so valuable. And how many of you maybe feel out there that you want to take what you've got that you maybe feel is rare and precious, and you want to give it to the world, you want to hand it out, and you just want to enhance and make people's lives better? That's exactly what The Alchemist is all about. So I'm not one for fictional stories at all, everybody. I must be honest with you. I'd rather prefer reading some facts. And this book caught me by surprise because the fiction and the story of it all was just so relatable. Every single time Santiago did something or the story took a twist and a turn, it's as if I was right there with him. And the thing about the book is that I relate it all back to my life. I'm somebody that's got a dream in my heart and a fire in my spirit, just like Santiago. And in many cases, my journey's taken me to places where I'm trying to find that rare and precious commodity that we can just share with the world. So if you want to get yourself a copy, you can pop down to your nearest bookstore. 65 million copies sold. If the bookstore doesn't know about the book called The Alchemist, they're probably not a bookstore. You should get out of there. Get to a bookstore, and get yourself a copy of The Alchemist, a fable about following your dream. Are you following your dream, or are you just living and just existing? Is there something that you have, that you're achieving, that you're striving towards? Maybe you're like Santiago, the shepherd boy. Maybe you need to sell your sheep. Stop looking after the sheep, man. Let's get out there and start searching for that precious commodity, gold. We're going to go to an ad break right now, and then I'm going to introduce you to someone that's absolutely crazy. He's a beautiful friend of mine. I'm ready to introduce you to Keenan, baby.
brandlive.co.za. Harnessing the power of talk radio. brandlive.co.za.
Have you ever thought about the power of social media? Social media has the power to make your business grow. Yeah. Why don't you let us manage your social media? Because our business is to see your business grow. Visit us at www.bstownmedia.co.za.
You're listening to brandlive.co.za.
Back to brandlive.co.za. You're with Keenan Paulson. This radio station is absolutely phenomenal, and they've given us an opportunity to encourage, inspire, motivate, and enable you with a message of power and purpose. And I'd just like to welcome into studio the gentleman that's going to be interviewing me right now. Man, this guy, he calls himself South Africa's #1 celebrity. Ladies and gentlemen out there, put your hands together for the one and only Keenan, baby. Keenan, welcome to the show.
Yeah, man, what's happening, guys? What's happening, baby? This is amazing. I mean, I'm on radio. I'm #1 celebrity. I'm getting to just interview all these cool people. Man, Keenan, thank you so much for inviting me to your show. Baby, look at you now. You got your own show. You're just climbing the ladder, baby. Yo, we celebrate you, man. We big ups to you. Big ups, baby.
Thanks, Keenan. Appreciate that, brother. So, look, you have about 5 to 7 minutes. I know this is my show right now, but I'm gonna hand the mic over to you, and you can interview me. I'm my own featured guest, man. So, Keenan, it's over to you.
Okay, my man. Thank you. I'm used to running the show, baby. I'm used to running the show. So, first question for this brother over here. I mean, you call yourself a motivational speaker, and I mean, baby, when you're under the sheets. You know, when you're under the sheets, it's early morning. What gets you out of the bed, baby? I mean, we all need someone or something to get us out of bed in the morning, baby. What gets you out of bed, baby?
Keenan, yeah. So, what gets me out of bed, man, is purpose. purpose. I believe I'm born with a purpose. I believe that I'm here to deliver a message. I believe my purpose is as a communicator. And I found a message, man, that I just have to deliver to people on as many platforms as I can. And the message is that there is a powerful being inside of you that is able to create just about any and every reality that you can dream. And so this message about this powerful being on the inside of you, in fact, it's inside of every single person. Doesn't matter your color, doesn't matter your creed, your religion, your race, your age. Everybody has the eternal being on the inside of them. And this is the message that I've come to bring to everybody. So that's that's what gets me out of bed in the morning, Goodine.
Okay, baby, that's great. I thought you were gonna say like a lady gets you out of bed, makes you some coffee or something like that, Abby. But that's how I get out of bed in the morning, baby. But anyway, so okay, look, let's be real with each other, okay? You know that song? It said it's all about the Benjamins, baby. You know that song? It's all about the Benjamins. What is it about for you? I mean, why do you do what you do? For me, I'm a number one celebrity. I get paid, baby. I get paid. I get that money, you know? What is it all about for you, baby? Come on, talk to me.
So, Goodine, why do I do what I do? I mean, money is great, right? Money answers all things, Solomon said anyway. But for me, it's about impacting people's lives, and it's about impacting my own life, and it's about impacting, and changing the world around me, the immediate environment that I find myself in. That's really why I do what I do. Also, it really frustrates me to see people making excuses, to see people living a life that it's below their level. I'm not here to impose any sort of standard on anyone, but I know that people out there can achieve more. They can be great. And that's why I do what I do, because somebody needs to tell them that, hey, man, you don't have to stay the way you are. You can change. Circumstances can change. You don't have to be down and out all your life. You can change your circumstance. And that's why I do what I do, Goodine. So I hope that answers your question, man.
Okay, baby. So, yeah, that's okay. That's okay. You know what? I saw a robot, ne? I was standing at the robot, ne? And this metro officer, my man, you know what he did? He drove through the red robot, my brother. So I want to just relate that to you, my man. Like motivational speakers. Do you guys have like down days? I think we should find every motivational speaker that's having a bad day. You can't come out here and tell me that the roses are red and violets are blue and the coffee smells nice and how about you and all of that, my man. No, baby. Nah, baby, you can't. So motivational speaker, do you ever have a bad day? I mean, I feel like you guys are not allowed to have bad days. Like, if you want to put yourself on that level of a motivational speaker, then you must say like life is together for you. You know what I mean, my man?
Goodine, you know what? I'm human, my brother. I'm absolutely human. I have bad days. I have terrible days. I go through breakups, hiccups, bumps, and all sorts of ups and downs. I've lost loved ones. I've cried. I feel like our pain qualifies us to speak about our pleasure. It's easy to have a great day, and it's easy to motivate and encourage people and inspire them when you're having a great day, when you're on the top of the mountain and you're speaking about the view. It's very easy, but few people are speaking about the climb. Few people are speaking about the valley experience and how they got to the top of the mountain. And that's really what I feel motivational speaking is all about. It's about people who've been through a time in their lives and just relating to others who's also going through a low moment. So look, I don't know about the metro cops going through red robots and all of that, but please don't find me. I have bad days, man. I'm a human being, right? Just like you, Goodine.
Okay, baby. So you have bad days, you have sad days and all those days, Mondays and Sundays and all those days. What do you do? How do you lift yourself up when you're feeling bad? I mean, let's do real talk, baby. Let's do real talk. Let's not candy coat nothing for anybody here, my man. Talk to me. How do you lift yourself up when you're feeling down?
Goodine, great question, man. Thank you so much. How do I lift myself up when I'm feeling down? I believe that gratitude is the attitude to have, man. And there's nothing like being thankful that will just lift you out of any bad space. Because you're probably feeling bad because you're perceiving some sort of lack or insufficiency or some sort of disadvantage. That's probably why you're feeling bad. But if you start seeing the blessing, the benefit, and the empowerment in any situation, and you start feeling grateful for that, I feel like that's the thing that gets me back up to where I need to be. Because, I mean, I don't view anything in life as final, least of all my struggles and my tribulations. So if I just become grateful for them, man, I think that's the one thing that lifts me when I'm down.
Okay, baby. Okay, that's great. So what I'm gonna do, I mean, you gave me like a couple of minutes, right? So what I'm gonna do is, every single people that come on this show, I'm gonna ask them to sing their favorite motivational song. So Keenan, my man, what is the song that gets you, like, lifts your spirits, lets you rise with the eagles? You know, baby, the eagles. You don't want to be with the chickens, baby. You want to be with the eagles. What's that song that lifts you up? And you have to sing it on this radio station right now.
Yo, wow. Okay, Goodine. Sheesh. There's so many songs. There's a song by the brand new Heavies called "You Are the Universe." I don't know if you know that song, Goodine. But the song that really gets me is by R. Kelly. R. Kelly, man. I Believe I Can Fly. There's a line in the song that says, sure. You're really gonna have me singing here on radio, Goodine.
Hey, baby, you gotta sing, baby. I mean, the people wanna hear you sing. You wanna be a motivator, you gotta, spice it up for us. Spice it up, my man.
Okay. R. Kelly says, if I can see it, then I can be it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly.
Come on, yeah, I know this song.
I believe I can touch the sky. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. I got the studio guys laughing and smiling here. Thanks, Goodine. Is that it? Do you have any more questions?
Baby, I don't have any more questions for you. This has been a great interview. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody on brandlife.co.za, this has been Goodine, baby's feature. We're going to feature motivational speakers. We're going to feature artists. We're going to feature rags to riches stories. We're going to feature everybody. Anybody who's got a motivational, encouraging story, we're going to feature them on this radio station every Wednesday, 10 a.m. with Goodine, baby. Keenan, my man, I'm out of here, but you're going to stay. You're still going to motivate these guys. And thanks, my man. We're going to see each other again next week, my man. So, thank you so much.
Goodine, you've been awesome. You've been absolutely phenomenal. Thank you, man. That's beautiful. Hey, guys, how about we go to an ad break? When we come back, we're having our topic of discussion, and this is a couple of ideas on how to spark motivation. If you're just feeling a bit low, a bit flat, where did motivation go, and how do you get it to come back? Those are the ideas I'm going to share with you guys in the next few minutes.
brandlive.co.za. Harnessing the power of talk radio. brandlive.co.za.
Have you ever thought about the power of social media? Social media has the power to make your business grow. Yeah. Why don't you let us manage your social media? Because our business is to see your business grow. Visit us at www.bstownmedia.co.za.
You're listening to brandlive.co.za.
Yo, welcome back to brandlive.co.za. You're here on the midweek motivation with Keenan Paulson. Man, it's been 20 minutes already. That's crazy. That's crazy how time flies. I'm going to share a couple of ideas on how to spark motivation in your life. That spark that gets the flame burning again. Maybe you're feeling low, maybe you're feeling down, maybe you're feeling out. How do we lift ourselves up again? I've got a couple of ideas to share with you. So first of all, motivation is all about perspective. It's about the way you see things. The meaning that we give and attribute to the events of our lives determines how we see them. They say whatever you look for is what you find. So here's a couple of ideas. What are you looking for? You see, the rain remains wet, but it's the person that it rains upon that determines how they feel. Some people feel sad when it rains. Some people are like, oh man, it's raining. I feel like I just want to stay under the covers. You know, and then you get other people that look outside, it's raining, they're like, man, I've never danced in the rain. This is my opportunity to get out there and do things that I've never done before. The lens through which you perceive life determine your motivation level. So I've got a couple of ideas for you guys. Obligation versus opportunity. Napoleon Hill says your big opportunity may be right where you are right now. Henry Ford said failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. When we see the obligation in our lives, our motivation levels plummet. When we feel that we must do something because one or another force is compelling us to do it, we lose the enthusiasm to carry out those tasks. Why don't you replace the obligation that you see in your life with the opportunity? Are you looking for obligation or are you looking for opportunity? Maybe you're at a job and you feel, and I mean, I've had so many people come to me saying like, my job is, it's draining me. This thing, I do it every single day, Monday to Friday, sometimes on Saturdays, and complain. And I only ask them this one question sometimes is, what's the opportunity that your job is presenting you with? Maybe your job's giving you the opportunity to pay school fees and put food on the table. Maybe your job's giving you the opportunity to learn something new. I feel like the more opportunities we can find, the more motivation we can encourage and invite back in our lives. Because when we see the obligation drains us of motivation, we feel, and we get stuck into the humdrum of life when we see obligation. But when we see opportunity, that just gives us the ability to be inspired and act accordingly. So that's the first idea, obligation versus opportunity. The second idea I have for you is contribution versus self-preservation. Deepak Chopra says, each one of us is a unique strand in the intricate web of life, and we're here to make a contribution. Eleanor Roosevelt said, when you cease to make a contribution, you begin to die. Let's read that one again. When you cease to make a contribution, you begin to die. Tony Robbins says, only those who have learned the power of sincere and selfless contribution experience life's deepest joy and true fulfillment. Self-preservation is this idea that you need to keep and protect and be secure from loss or any destruction that you can, because you want to preserve what you have and you want to preserve yourself. And while that's probably one of our basic instincts, the idea of contributing to society and contributing to your community is a far more inspired idea. Epicurus, the Greek philosopher, actually studied happiness, and he reported that when people feel like they're contributing to the greater good of society and the greater good of everyone, people are then more likely to feel happy and fulfilled. Think about the mentality of self-preservation. It's a limiting lack mentality. It's almost like I've got to keep what I've got and I've got to preserve what I have because I might run out. So I can't allow people into the space, because what if they take everything that I have, then I'll be left with nothing. But contribution is a different mindset. Contribution is this mentality that I've got so much to give. The more I give, the more I receive. I know that I'm a divine contributor in this web of life, like Deepak Chopra said, and it's my duty to contribute and enrich people's lives. And so this is an idea that invites motivation and inspiration back into your life. How about finding places where you can be a contributor instead of approaching it with a self-preservation mindset? Why don't you say, man, how can I contribute? How can I make things better? How can I make it fuller? Not for you, but for other people. When you put other people's needs first, I feel like that's the space to be in, where we invite blessing and beautiful things to come back into our lives. So the second idea is contribution versus self-preservation. Man, we time's flying here. I've got two more ideas to share with you. Excitement versus boredom. Excitement versus boredom. Tim Ferriss, in his book, The 4-Hour Work Week, says that boredom is the enemy of life. And so there's a quotation that says, to do the same thing over and over again is not only boredom, it's to be controlled by the thing rather than to control what you do. So this is the idea that new experiences are more motivating, more exciting, and more encouraging than old, mundane experiences. Man, why don't we go and find something new to do? Why don't you take that dance class? Why don't you learn a new language? Why don't you find a new friend? Why don't you create a new experience? Taste something new. Go to a new place. Instead of going to the same old restaurant this weekend, why don't you go somewhere new? Why don't you find yourself in a new environment? I just did that this last weekend. Man, I was invited to a place I've never been to. It was so inspiring. My senses were tingling. Everything around me was new, and I actually felt more alive. Get that? Boredom makes you feel almost dead inside, if I could say that. But excitement, man, there's definitely a spark that flies when we feel excited. The final idea I want to share with you guys before we go into our guided visualization to end the show is gratitude versus entitlement. Man, I'm sure we are all aware of the changing nature of life. The one thing that's certain is that things will change. Why don't we become grateful instead of entitled? I find that when people approach life with this entitled attitude, well, it's my right and it's my duty to have this, and it's my parents fought so hard to give me this. I'm supposed to have it. It again goes back to that self-preservation thing. And I feel like it's not really opening your heart, opening your mind, and opening your spirit up. Why don't we approach it with gratefulness? Looking at everything that you have and saying, well, thank you that I've got what I've got. Thank you that I've got access to everything that I do. Just approaching it with a grateful heart, man. Gratitude can transform common days into thanksgiving, turn routine jobs into joy, and change ordinary opportunities into blessing. Develop an attitude of gratitude and give thanks for everything that happens to you, even the bad stuff. Knowing that every step forward is a step towards achieving something bigger and better than your current situation. That's by Brian Tracy. I've been signaled 2 minutes left. I still had a poem by George Carver Washington. I think Goodeen took up all our time, man, but I'll definitely be back next week, 10 a.m. right here on the Midweek Motivation, brandlife.co.za. I'm going to close out the show with a guided motivation to end. So can we cut the music? Let's relax wherever you find yourself right now. You may be at your desk. If you're behind the wheel, don't relax. Don't close your eyes. We don't want you guys to cause any accidents out there. But just begin to close your eyes and allow me to lead you through this guided visualization. I close the eyes of my body and begin to open the eyes of my mind. My being is filled with love and gratitude. I'm absolutely radiant. I'm in the right place at the right time, and infinite peace fills my heart. I see myself healthy. I see myself prosperous. I see myself flourishing. I see myself well. I see myself happy and doing the very thing that I was created for. I see myself having, being, and doing the good that I desire. I see myself contributing to the greater good of humanity. I give of myself in every situation, and I am richly rewarded for doing so. I see myself divinely blessed with health, wealth, and success. I am deeply thankful for all of this. It is good, and it's very good. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. This has been the Midweek Motivation with me, Keenan Paulson. I'll be back next week, 10 a.m. here on brandlife.co.za.
brandlife.co.za. Harnessing the power of talk radio. brandlife.co.za.